William Hill Bingo? Oh, it's called Bingo! Is that an English thing? I'm not sure. Oh, hello. Are we still doing the cop thing? Are they still on his case?
I do all the talking.
Oh, yeah, we're still going.
Hand it over. Is this it?
Okay, good. Nice. He dropped it, yeah?
Both of you. Whoa, where's this coming from?
Yeah, Saul's thought of a plan. Nice.
Mr. Ehrmantraut, he's concerned. He's getting threatening voicemails from you.
Oh, wow, that doesn't look good from the cop's point of view.
And walking across the parking lot, just now, boom, you accidentally dropped it.
Yeah, they don't believe it. Fair.
I'm confused. The state of Pennsylvania can extradite people for returning lost property?
Yeah, you ain't gonna win against Saul, dude.
Maybe your daughter-in-law. Maybe she's got
buddy.
something to tell me.
I love this though. I love that they're pitting this cop like as the antagonist. I feel like the work, honestly, from last episode is carrying into this episode already, because in this moment, I'm so on Saul and Mike's side. And I'm like, oh, come on, you got this. Run rings around this boy, you know? And I do feel like you get that because this guy, this cop, he hasn't really done anything, I guess, other than come against Mike. But because we know about that situation and what happened contextually, it was such a painful, tragic thing. And because I guess we've got Breaking Bad and we're on Mike's side anyway, but then we've got obviously last episode that puts you more solidly on his side, even more so. Now it's like it doesn't matter. All that matters now is that he's coming against that, right? And so he's automatically the antagonist. I like that. I do. Say what you like and you can moralize all you want and talk about who's in the moral right, and I think that's an interesting conversation you could have, and maybe you wouldn't come down on the same side as him being the antagonist, right? But because of how the show's been manufactured, I'm very much enjoying being on this side of Mike and Saul finally together, working together against this common foe.
I mean, thanks as in three's a crowd. You can go now.
Yeah, this guy.
You're not talking to my client without me.
Yeah.
This guy here, he's definitely the more mellow one. And if there's any friend in this, cop-wise, for Mike, I feel like it's this guy.
Could be the altitude.
We're a mile up, right?
Really? American's insane.
Sorry about the kid. He's young, looking to make his mark.
Right, yeah.
I like him.
Your daughter-in-law, she gonna tell us.
I don't honestly know.
It's a good point, actually, yeah. She knows everything.
Well, Mike, if she's got nothing to say, this pretty well ends it here. Maybe you should talk to her before we do.
I talked.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because this conversation here, I'm like, oh, good, this guy's on his side. But then I'm like, I feel like the reason he's on his side is because of what we talked about and what last episode did. In that, yeah, all of these cops are in it together. And we were told last episode that Mike was a little dirty. And this guy probably knew that, right? They're both of an age. They were in the same precinct. They probably knew what each other was up to. It's weird, isn't it? There's this part of me that's like, oh, I like this because he's on our side. He's on this side that we're on, right? As the audience. But then also, yeah, that thing that I disparaged and put down so vehemently last episode was this. And that's a very interesting little mix of emotions and nuances and oh, I feel dirty. Like they brought me in. Oh, God. I don't like it, but I do. But I don't. Like, this guy knows.
There's a lot of people we both know and think that Fensky got what was coming to him.
Wow. Okay.
That old precinct was a sewer.
Wow, that bad, huh?
Wouldn't be surprised if there's a few more early retirements. Might be a good thing. New blood.
Maybe. Again, goes back to what I was saying at the end of last episode. There's no guarantee.
Like the kid.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Cool.
He's just got to learn, that's all.
Ooh.
Some rocks you don't turn over.
There it is. Interesting. We're still talking about this and note Mike's silence with that too. Yeah, look at that. And this guy's still steeped in it, right? This cop buddy mentality. Yeah, interesting. So that's interesting, man. Everything that was set up last episode, the show's now playing with, which is great. And not only that, it's not only playing with it in the show, it's playing with you as the audience and your alignments, right? Because yeah, that guy who I literally just a few minutes ago called the antagonist, and he is in the way that I was framing it, right? He's the good guy, right? That's the point. The guy was saying like, yeah, he's just got to learn. But like, it's not a learn in a good way. It's learning in a way of like, yeah, he's got to get on our team. He's got to look out for us all. He's got to steep himself in the dirt. Even though, and do you know what I mean? Even though this guy was talking about that precinct was a sewer. And it's like, dude, where are your lines, right? I feel like there's so many lines that he's lost track of them. Yeah, but what an interesting web of alignments and morality there that we've got here. And again, like I say, look at Mike's silence in that conversation. He doesn't necessarily agree with this guy anymore. He gets it and he was there. But I think everything that happened with Matty now has changed Mike in a way that he can't come back from. And that shows in his actions and why he's split, I guess, from the cops, right? Now he's no longer one. He can't be. for me as well, especially, as you know, everyone knows if you watched last episode how I feel about the whole thing. I'm softening more towards the antagonist, the guy who's coming after Mike, because he's actually the guy that's rooting out the bad cops. That's what he's doing. That's what he's trying to do. And if Mike's one of those, he's going to get him. And that's what I was saying last episode needs to be done. It's that question of like, how can you do that? Can you do that? How far can you go? Are there any good cops? So it's interesting. So now I kind of want him to succeed, even though I know he doesn't, because Mike, well, we don't know, I suppose. In Breaking Bad, is Mike on the run still? Interesting connotations going forward. And what an interesting place it puts me in as well, because I'm like, I don't know who to root for. I know who I'm rooting for, but now I'm also rooting for the young cop. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, and look, and we're lingering on Mike now. And I feel like the point of that, this is my interpretation obviously, I feel like he, in that moment of silence, not answering the guy, letting the guy walk off, just sitting there, not knowing how to act, not knowing how to move, not knowing what to think, is a personification of that web of nuance, that web of morality that you, like, where do you go? What does Mike do? Does he support the young cop who's coming for him? Even though the young cop is Matty in this situation, right? He's the personification almost of Matty, of this good cop coming for him. So it's like, do you go against that? Do you support that? But then if you support that, he comes for you and he gets you, and then you go to prison. It just demonstrates the mastery actually of the writing and what they set up last episode, and they doubled down on that here, and everything that I've talked about is present, and that's such masterful writing to make you feel that way and to put all so much in so little. Hello and welcome to another Better Call Saul Sunday, the show that happens every single Sunday until we are finished with it, mate. Today we are doing episode 7. Bingo. Flamin'! No, do you know what, actually? All right, I do this every single week. I do. You hear, you see it every single week. And I'll be honest with you, we all forgot, we did, me included, maybe, let's not linger. That the whole point of the flamingo check is that you all have flamingos too, okay? And I don't know about you, I've seen very little reciprocation about the flamingo thing, I'll be honest with you. Like, look at this, I bought a tie specially for the whole thing. I got a glass, you see in the glass as well. I got some shorts, I got everything. I got flamingo paraphernalia coming out my ass, mate. What have you done? What have you done? The flamingo check is very important, and I don't feel like a lot of you are taking it seriously. So this week I'm gonna abstain from the flamingos, because I know all of you being so good about it clearly, and just not telling me. That's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, keep your secrets. Do you know what I mean? Like, be aloof. It's cool. I like it. Having said that though, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna leave the flamingos to you. Okay, that's all I'm saying this week. That's it. Okay, if there's no flamingos, well, look around. Find something. Flamingo checking you, mate.
You think you're gonna defend yourself?
In someone else's hands.
Please don't say Hamlin McGill.
Oh, his little face. Ooh, very nice.
Chuck, you there?
Uh-oh, how's Chuck? Man, I am so worried for Chuck, if I'm honest with you. Out? Okay. Just for where he goes in this show, I just feel like it's not going to be a good, happy ending for him.
12, 113.
Okay.
What are you doing?
He's training.
I've been attempting to build up a tolerance for electromagnetic fields.
And hey, you say what you want, in his head or no, if he's training and at least showing himself that he can do it and get better, then that's great.
I have to find a way to get better.
Nice, good, mate.
I have to get back to work.
Mate, honestly, get into video games.
I need to be useful again.
Be useful to the raid group, man.
What's all this?
It's just some case files. Hey, I'm practically sleeping on these things.
Business is that good?
It's booming.
Nice.
We good here? See you tomorrow, same time.
Interesting. He's got an aversion to this being here. Work. Maybe that's a trigger. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. This whole thing, Chuck's situation, it's got him away from work, right? So perhaps we're tying a little bit of what's going on with him and maybe some trauma to Hamlin McGill, right? Ah, a little ploy. I see. Yeah.
Do you afford this?
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to expand.
Sure, mate, but know your limits, right? Like, just little bumps. Damn. Have they been this good to you, mate?
Big. A lot of offices.
Too big too soon, I feel.
Dream big, I say.
Yeah, but this isn't a dream, mate.
Get you a big fancy desk in here?
Cocobolo desk. I don't know what it means, but I just like saying the word.
This is way better than the other one.
Is this his office?
Who goes in here? Because I'd be all up in here if I were you.
Oh, it's her office. He's gonna offer her a
Yeah,
job.
you know, saving it for someone.
Who?
Partner.
Your partner?
Oh. Hey, sounds like a good deal, mate. Yeah, she's got it.
Thank you.
Get yourself up and running, mate. Establish yourself, and then do it again. Offer a job again. Do you know what I mean?
I'm closer than ever to partner, like maybe 2 years. And you know, they put me through law school.
Oh, wow, did they?
Actually, I do owe them.
I get you. But come on, you gotta be selfish sometimes. But that's the thing. I don't feel like her coming here is being selfish, to be honest. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm very not sure about Saul doing this, to be fair. This is the interesting thing as well. I haven't seen Saul for a while. I haven't seen the Elder Law and how it's been treating him. We've kind of not really been touching on Saul as much the last, I'd say 2 episodes, right? Maybe, honestly, maybe it's just last episode, and maybe that's why. Because for me, it's been like, I guess, 2 weeks since I've seen Saul really properly. Because of that, it's giving me the impression that I actually don't know how he's doing right now. Financially, you know, career-wise, is the Elder Law actually going as good as he's saying? Because I'm treating it like 2 weeks ago, and it's like, no, he wasn't there then. But maybe he is. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, right now, get yourself up and running. Establish yourself. Come back to her. But it is. I feel like I need to check back in with Saul, actually. Oh, these guys.
Ruling from a jury are very slim. Winning doesn't always mean getting a favorable verdict at trial. We try to achieve the best possible outcome for our clients given each individual case.
Nicely worded.
Come up with a deal that is very...
Deal. I hate that terminology. A deal is what they got OJ.
Well, Betsy, maybe we should,
It's terrible
hear it.
term.
She is the worst.
Craig, you're looking at 30 years in prison.
Ooh.
Given the nature of the charge and the current political environment, I'd say we should expect it.
Oh.
However, after much discussion with the DA, we have arrived at an
Hello?
arrangement, which would include 16 months in a county facility.
Dude, that's so good. Take that.
But he would have to say he was guilty.
He is.
It includes the stipulation that you return $1.6 million.
Give back the money.
But there is no money.
There's no money.
We told you Craig is innocent.
I understand.
These guys, man, I swear to God, like they're guilty. They know they're guilty. And this is the thing. It's something I realized, right? The camping trip and all that stuff, and you know, them talk to Saul on that big moment where they were like, yeah, you look like someone that, you know, represents the guilty. And it's like, you're guilty, mate. You're guilty. So by that logic, go with him. Sorry, I'm so mad. I hate these. Well, okay, to be fair, right? The guy seems very meek. I feel like he'll go along with whatever anyone says. But that's the point. He's just going along with the wife, right? And I'm like, dude, you are guilty. You are literally guilty. And she's talking for him as well. Not being funny. He's the one going to have to do 30 years. Now, at the moment, it's looking like, you know, because of his wife, he's going to have to. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys, I'm so sorry. Give it back and do the 16 months. I appreciate they probably haven't got it all, right? And then I know they don't have it all because they gave some to Saul. But man, the bare greed and the ego and the audacity to still at this point be like, we're not guilty.
You're telling us there are drug dealers and murderers walking the streets.
Oh, stop.
Going after them, they want to put an innocent man in jail.
I like the little in joke there. Very nice. Very nice. Dude,
Okay.
back down.
There is no money.
My man, speak up. That's the 30 years for you, mate, not her.
And go to jail for a year and a half. But your other choice, that is no choice at all.
It's your life. It's the rest of your life.
And Craig goes to prison for decades.
Yeah, Craig, mate, speak up.
I'd take the deal.
She's a great lawyer. She fully like sold that. To me at least. I mean, not to this lady, right? But yeah, this is absolutely a demonstration of how good she actually is. She'd make a great salesperson too. Before actually saying the 16-month thing, she dropped the 30-year on the table. That would put anybody up apart from this insane lady.
2 years from now, you can be starting over. It's tough,
Yeah, 2 years, dude. Come on.
but you're tough people.
Are they? Well, they're not, but that's the thing. Again, she's appealing to them, right? She's appealing to a strength because she sees that that's the only thing, the only way that she can get through to at least the wife. The wife needs to be, you know, stroked a little bit and be told that she's strong and good and, you know, righteous. It's interesting. She's not only good at her job, she's good at, like I said about Saul, understanding people, right? Because that's why she said that.
We don't need to discuss it.
Craig, mate.
You're fired.
Wow. What, Craig? Craig, how do you feel?
My office and discuss this. I'm sure there's a solution.
Dude, this is interesting.
Personal, really.
If you're unhappy with what
Craig, mate.
Please stop following us.
I feel so sorry for Craig. I say that though, but like, come on, Craig. Like, stand up for yourself, mate. Come on, dude. No, don't look at her. She did everything she could. She did awesome. That lady is just insane. But interesting because, yeah, they're going to go to Saul. That would be cool. Bingo. What is he doing? What is he doing? Is he a lawyer or is he doing this now? Both? Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
What do we have for the lovely lady?
Notebook.
Yeah, it's in it. Offices of James McGill, Esquire. How...
Still doing it. Okay.
Deja vu. Hello again.
Wow. Yeah, they did.
So how may I be of service?
Interesting.
We have certain conditions, and these are not up for debate. We want no jail time. 0.
God.
Craig is innocent, and we expect you to prove that.
Last time we spoke, you were
Yeah. Raid him,
not
mate.
being represented by HHM.
Exactly. Don't let that go unnoticed. Never turn down coffee. Guys. No. You need... You know, I'm so mad about that. I'm gonna get myself a coffee. Yeah, I am. Anyone want one? You good? Okay. Sons of Not taking coffee. What are you doing, man? Jimmy, I thought better of you, mate.
I'm sorry about my bluntness at our last encounter.
Oh, yeah, it's such a funny thing.
We're very sorry.
We thought long and hard.
They're not, mate. They're not sorry at all.
Your passion and
Look at her.
your can.
It's like a puppet. It's her hand up your mate. Just say it. Just say something, okay?
Well, as flattered as I am by this,
I'm glad that he doesn't believe a word.
I've changed my area of specialization.
Yeah, these guys.
Concentrate on elder law now.
You said we would be client number 1, morning, noon, or night.
Yes, and I meant
Yeah,
what I
but
said
you're not.
at the time.
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
Times
Good.
change.
They do. Sorry.
But we've already paid you a retainer.
This lady.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna use it. They're gonna use that bribe. They're trying to blackmail him. God, that lady's the worst, man.
Hey there. Mr. and Mrs. Cuckoo Bananas just offered me the plum job of defending them.
Good on him, doing his due diligence too.
Please, it's important.
Wash your hands, mate. Hey?
Serious.
Men are the worst. Men are the worst.
Make them understand it's better for them if they come back.
It for real is, but like, she can't get over her ego.
Elder law?
Maybe if we were home.
Sorry.
No, we're not going back there. They were incompatible.
With our guilt.
We want you, our lawyer, to exonerate Craig.
That is a big word.
Yeah, you can't just get away with anything.
Just, please, for my own.
Yeah, thank you.
Certainly will never be able to spend any of it.
For real.
Every penny would have to be present.
Oh, yeah, here's the blackmail. Yep,
Every single.
there it is.
We're in this together, Mr. McGill.
Ugh. She's the worst. She needs to get screwed over, man. It's high time. God damn, though. Like, unfortunately, though, she's kind of got him. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting.
Firing you?
Best case scenario is my 2-year plan just became a 10-year plan.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I lost the client.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's all Hamlin cares about, isn't it? It doesn't matter that she did everything she could. It doesn't matter that she got a deal that, like, very little others could have got. Bottom line is, they lost the client. That's all that matters to Hamlin. Oh, that's the worst kind of person. That's the worst kind of boss, man. Yeah, not seen Nacho in a while, right? What is it, dude? Did he keep some money? He did. Yeah, again, the show doing that thing of, like, where does the blame lie? Oh. Hello. Oh, is he getting Mike to help him? Okay. Arguably, you could make a case for it being Saul's fault for taking the bribe, but then at the same time, this whole thing came about because Lady Kettleman doesn't want to take the deal, you know, can't get past her ego and, like, admitting that they're guilty. And it's not even her admitting that she's guilty. I'm sure she absolutely was the one who, like, pushed Craig. This is the point as well, I feel like. I do feel like she was the one that pushed Craig to take the money in the first place and, like, break the law in the first place, right? I bet she absolutely persuaded him that it was a good thing to do. They'd never get caught, etc., etc., etc. Right? Like, Craig is absolutely a puppet, and I don't really feel that sorry for him, to be honest, because, like, he could have just got out of this probably at various points and he just had to stand up for himself and he can't do it. Whatever. But yeah, arguably, like, it's obviously her fault for not taking the deal and blah, 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 blah. But then there is a little bit of blame from Saul's point of view from taking the bribe, and, like, that's the only reason that he kind of had to say yes and take them on as clients and get embroiled in this even further, right? And so it's like, yeah, it's doing that thing again with, and I feel like it does it almost every episode where it throws blame in several different directions and you can kind of trace it, you know, these little butterfly effects to loads of different people in the situation. It's like, who does the blame actually lie with? And I think the point is, and what makes it so compelling, is that blame lies with several different people for different things. And I love that there's been almost no explanation, right, of Mike becoming this gun for hire, this person for hire. He just is now. I really like that. Also really nice seeing, again, I've been talking about it with Saul, but seeing closer to what we saw in Breaking Bad of Mike as well here, right? This little shadow of who he's going to become. Yeah. Interesting. And his whole shtick about, like, you know, most of the job is just sitting and waiting. I love that. Yeah, runs straight to the puppet master. Put your hand up my button, Mrs. Kettleman. Sorry, that's probably not what he calls her. Mistress Kettleman. There we go. Wow, they think it was the kids playing around with it. And look at this as well. They have such a nice house. I bet they had such a nice life before they took the money. And it's like Kim said, it's like, you know, 2 years down the line, you could just start again. They have so much. It's interesting that this season we've got the Kettlemans representing this different kind of villain. Right. Is he tracing where they've hidden the cash?
What are you doing?
Good question. Yeah, is he giving it to the DA or something?
Last time I was here, it was,
Oh, I'm not being funny, right? You could do some mean skids on that floor, dude.
circumstances have changed.
Oh, is he gone ahead and just, is he giving the money under the guise of, like, yeah, they're taking the deal? and he's done that for them.
Go check on that money you insist you didn't take in the upstairs bathroom.
Oh God, she was so quick. Tell you what, she moved.
What did you do with it?
By it, you mean on its way
Right.
to the DA's desk, right about now.
You thief!
Wow, audacity.
Oh, you don't tell us what to do. You stole from us.
You know what? I'm not even going to go there.
Even on a good day, you and Logic are Kim Wexler. Now, you're going to go back to her. You're going to apologize for your hasty decision to terminate.
That really shows a lot of how he cares about Kim and how deep his affection for her is as well. And by the way, I'm still not convinced that it is romantic between them. I think, I think there's a good chance it's platonic, which again, I quite like. I like that they're these two fast friends, right? I haven't seen a lot of their backstory, no flashbacks so far, so we'll see. But obviously talking to Kim, the little walk through Hamlin, McGill, and, seeing and talking to Hamlin and knowing what's happened to her and that her 2-year plans, her 10-year plan, maybe, who knows, all that stuff. He's literally doing this for, that's the motivation right there, is for Kim. And that just shows, it demonstrates the level of care and how deep that relationship runs.
Because right now, only Mr. Kettleman is on the hook. But the bribe, we're back to calling it a bribe? Yeah, that implicates you.
It was all me.
No, it wasn't.
Craig, man. Craig, how are you mad or panicked, mate? This is the best thing for you.
You'll probably wind up running your own gang.
Yeah, for real.
No, it's not over.
Yes, it is, dude. Don't get me wrong, though. I think there is that element of selfishness from Saul, from Jimmy's point of view. At the end of the day, he needed to sort this out because of the bribe. As much as he was implicated, he had to solve that. And this also solves that too. 2 birds, 1 stone, right? Saves Kim, saves him. Yeah, the Elder Law's not going as spiffingly, let's say, as we were led to believe, right? If he's moonlighting as something else, clearly it's not paying the bills solely. One day, dude. One day. Maybe. Maybe he's just lamenting. Yeah. Lamenting 1, Kim not coming over, 2, losing the Kettlemans. He didn't really win. Do you know what I mean? This situation, he doesn't really come out ahead at all. Bless, yeah. And to be fair, that's the thing. It's the double-edged thing of what he just did. Was that, yeah, he saved Kim. Yeah, he got Kim back in the good graces of Hamlin McGill. But that in doing that, he's put her further and further away from him. And this corner office, this office that he offered her, this thing that he wanted to do with her. And by doing this, by doing the right thing, he's essentially pushed her away.
Law offices of James M. McGill, how may I direct your call?
Yeah, interesting. A slower episode, honestly. Again. Yeah, but I do feel like that was on purpose, right? I think, the way that it just ended in him once more taking a call and doing his voice, and it's yeah, same old, nothing's changed. And that's the point, I think. Everything that he went through this episode, as much as it was difficult and he was at risk, and as much as by the end of it he hadn't actually achieved anything, and in fact he'd actually kind of lost something more, right? The way that the episode ended was that representation of, yeah, same old, and same old isn't where he wants to be. It's interesting, isn't it? I, as the audience, feel like we've not really done much, right? Again, moving slow, not a bad thing, by the way. It's not a bad thing. But I feel like, yeah, this idea of this, 40 odd minute episode, and so much has happened, but by the end of it, nothing's really changed. We're still in this same place. There's a nice little poetry, I think, to that. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I do feel like that made me raise the question in my own mind of where does this season end? What's the finale? What are we building up towards? And I think the reason for that is because they've introduced so many pieces to the board. If you think about it, right, finale wise, what could they do? That could rear its head from a few different directions. It could rear its head from the Kettlemans. I know we got a little bit of finality to the Kettlemans here. Maybe something about that, comes back. I would say at this point, probably not. Then we've got Nacho. We've also got Hamlin. We've also got Chuck. Something could happen with Chuck, and that could be, could have a combination of a couple of those, all of those. And I think, that's the result of this season is that, yeah, like I say, I've said before, it's a foundational season, right? It's setting up a lot of things to happen later down the line. And now I'm like, well, what happens in this season? What happens in episode 10? How does it end? And I don't know. And so it's interesting because I feel like they've got to do that for, a show that has a several season run, and that's really good. But also it puts me in this place of not knowing and also almost suspense because I don't know how season 1's going to end because there's so many ways it could go. And look, I think maybe we'll hone in, I guess, on that in the next couple episodes, going into episode 10. But I mean, we're in the second half of the season now. We're well into the second half of the season. So my brain naturally goes to how is it going to end? What are we going to usher in? And I think because we've got a slower episode again, I don't know where it's going to resolve this season, which Yeah, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I think, you know, depending on who you ask, I think maybe more the people that are like, yeah, it's not really for me. I don't prefer this show, you know, because it's slower and blah, blah. I feel like maybe this is a negative episode for those people. I think for me, I come somewhere in between. I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more, but then at the same time, I'm very much enjoying the journey and enjoying the ride. And I trust that we are going to go places later down the line that are going to intrigue me. And I'm not uninterested either. It's not a bad thing, I suppose, that we don't have more definition on where this season's going to go on its own, but at the same time, I guess that draws me towards a point that I maybe would like to make, in that, like, people like Nacho, that you saw that I really enjoyed him as a character, and I get we're going to probably get a lot more of him later down the line. I've not seen a lot of him, and I did actually find myself at a couple points in this episode thinking about Nacho and being like, I wish I got a little bit more of him, or I want a little bit more of him right now. Do you know what I mean? And I think compounded with the slower episode, that just got me thinking. And I guess it's a double-edged sword, right? Because they've introduced so many good things in this season so far. Now I'm like, the need to see those, and maybe it's impatience on my part as well. I don't know. I enjoyed this episode, but also I do feel like I can absolutely see, and I think I felt a little bit myself this episode, a little bit of like, kind of like, I want to start seeing a little bit more now. Or I guess maybe I just wanted a little bit more this episode, I suppose. So it's like, for me, I mean, I don't really usually score episodes. Like, it's still like a good 7 for me, right? And there's still a lot that happened in this episode, still a lot that I enjoyed in this episode, but I do feel like I was reminded, I suppose, with how much there still is to explore that we weren't exploring right now. We've had other slow episodes. I think that that's been fine. I've not thought about that. So I guess, you know, for me, maybe there just wasn't enough in this episode to keep those thoughts away, right? Not a bad episode, but I think, you know, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't talk about the points that I was, you know, maybe, I don't know, wanting a little bit more as well. At the same time, I'm still acclimatizing to the show. I'm still acclimatizing to the characters, the stories they're telling, you know, all that stuff as well. So yeah, slower episodes, stuff I enjoyed, stuff that I'd like to see more of. As always, thank you very much for watching. I am so close to 5,000 subscribers, so hey, if you're new, if you've watched a couple and you haven't yet subscribed, just do that, mate. Get me closer to the big 5,000. I could have just said 5,000 again. That was not a smooth way to do that. Anyway, thank you as always to my beautiful patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me in the way that you do. It's very much appreciated. Thank you as always to everybody else as well. I will see you next week and any time in between, because I will be having stuff coming out as well. I'm covering Haunting of Hill House as well. If you haven't seen that, go have a look at my channel. Nice little videos there for you as well. Buffy coming very soon as well. So yeah, until next time, see you later.